if you launch the app, then we can actually control.
I'm happy with setup right here. Try to get both microphones in it. There we go. Testing. Perfect. Testing.
Picking it up. Good first.
We are good to go. It's set up right now. I just
John McDermott wanting to watch it.
hold on. It's about to be live on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah, I'm literally in the process of posting it there right now.
Yep.
Yes. The real LPM page. Why is this being so fucking goofy right now? That's why.
It could be long.
You might need to reposition the camera because I moved it on the tripod.
Oh, okay. I'll check it in a second.
But I want to say they just made some along the way. Not just the lower end, but I mean, they had by the lower. That's what it's doing. They were buy the springs to get to that. If there's some like so how they won that case that they're not allowed to sell it.
There.
What you need?
I'm just trying to picture. I'm trying to get both microphones in the view. Yeah. There. Well. There. I think we'll call that good.
Do you guys have a USB-C hub or something that was connected to a display with it? Does this have a display out on it? No. I think Dan's looking for an alternate way to connect to that projector.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which Connor posted that he's moving to New Hampshire on April 1st, and the Free State Project hasn't caught up to that. Like,
so are those microphones connected to this streaming setup or no?
I think these mics are connected to the speakers.
Okay, so it's gonna sound like garbage online.
This has pretty good mics.
Okay,
So that's why I want it on the tripod, because the mics are facing.
all right. Can we do some tests real quick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this somewhere else.
And I'll just do test.
Yeah,
Test.
yeah.
That's the power block. It wasn't
Testing.
Can you hear me now?
Testing. Testing. Hear it?
Here, can you talk into the mic here?
It's just gonna be loud. Testing. Anything? Thank you.
Are you doing anything with your laptop that needs to be right here?
No.
Could you potentially try it
Try
with
it.
a projector and see if you can relocate to the?
Good question.
All right, Dan, take over as twice again.
Dan supremacy.
Libertarian Party Dan.
Pardon? I need to buy the speakers. Yeah, I need to fix the dang thing.
Yeah, and then basically pro freedom. Yes. 40s. Yes.
Oh, what? The one thing at 16. No, they're. What's that? So weird. So yeah. Why do you know? It's just like, why do you know? That's why I do this man. It's like, what? Hey, what do you, why about one? You have to. Luckily for you, he did these people. Yeah. Barely get right to him. Apparently, they'll go to like the apparently it's cool, I guess.
Yeah, right. My phone, you know, he would everything down. She wasn't great at 9 o'clock.
I feel like I'm in the metro.
Can we get everybody to head to your seats, please? Guys by the bar, can we get everybody to head to their seats?
I don't know if he did.
All right. How's everybody doing today? All right, we're gonna.
Shitty, the state still exists.
So, all right, it's 10:10 at the moment. So, welcome everybody to the special convention today here in Wixom. Appreciate everybody coming out. Just some quick opening remarks. Obviously, I think most people are aware we've had some controversy. Definitely, it's been an unfortunate time. We're got fighting going on around among our membership, and it's been really counterproductive. It's something we definitely got to put an end to. On the other hand, though, it's also very important and critical that the rules and the bylaws of our party. So, basically, the guiding principle that's kind of gotten me here, kind of leading this effort, this convention, has been to stick to those bylaws, make sure we adhere to those, and try to work to make them better and more agreeable so that we can move forward for this. I think a major factor in kind of having a political party is there's always going to be disagreements. But I think a really critical aspect of bylaws that provides kind of a mechanism for us all to adjudicate disagreements, work through those issues, and find a way to, make it. So that's my goal for the party going forward. Hopefully it's shared. We're going to have some motions today discussing that, as well as other positions on our board and our leadership. But I really hope we can try to move past these issues, build a improvement to us later this summer, and set up a system that our party can work through issues where we don't have these kind of major divides happening, where we have these crises coming up whenever there's a disagreement over how to proceed as a party. So that's kind of my philosophy towards all that stuff. Very glad to have everyone's support here today. Then coming out. Quite the case, for some other appeals for that, but thank you everyone who chose to come here today, and I look forward to working with everybody going forward.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. At present, we have 36 credentialed delegates, and there are 5 additional folks that we hope to promote. Yes, let me get the other one.
So, starting out, we have a couple of people that did not get nominated as delegates. I think we've had kind of a tumultuous nomination cycle, but what we're preparing here is that we have a mechanism in our bylaws that anyone who wasn't nominated by an affiliate, the convention body can vote to approve as a delegate, allowed to participate via a 7/8 vote of the assembled delegates. So we got a couple of people here today that didn't get through those delegate processes, but came out today in good faith to participate in party business. So I would ask for everyone to approve the additions to the delegate list that Jeff will give in a moment.
Okay, the folks that arrived in good faith to participate and should be promoted as delegates, so I move to promote the following as delegates to this convention: Tori Hinrichs, Leah Daly, Andrew Conger, Zach Johnson, and Rich McLean.
Are you in the
Second.
Do you have a vote?
Request for information.
Yes.
These individuals, which affiliates are they members of, and did they attempt to be assigned by their affiliate caucus?
So we have Tori, I believe, is a member of West Michigan, Leah from Oakland, Andrew Conger from Lapeer, Zach Johnson from Huron-Raisin, and Rich McLean from West Michigan. So I believe in most of those cases, those are affiliates that sent their delegations to the other convention, and I think we still did not have a chance to concede here. I think Leah may be a little bit separate case to that, but I can vouch that she is here in good faith to participate, and she was there for that. So I don't know if you want to say anything more here.
I can speak to is that an option?
Yeah, if you
If I can speak to a couple of the other members that are talking about adding this delegation. I know Zach Johnson here, he was new with Huron Raisin, the week after they did their delegate selection. So I'm on Oakland, and I didn't seek delegation, at the time. And after thinking about it for a long time, I decided yesterday to go ahead and come on in and ask for delegation today.
Of all these new members, they will require a lot of time.
Yes, I can vouch that everyone is a member in 30 days.
environment. The intention of that was only for affiliates who had missed the 7-day filing limit. It was never intended to overrule the will of the affiliate. And we clearly, in our bylaws, state that the affiliate had the authority over the state party. And I think it would be incredibly inappropriate for us to usurp the will of our affiliates by seating these delegates.
Does anyone else wish to speak? I don't know if you guys
I should speak. We did not receive any affiliate submission from West Michigan, Lapeer, or Huron Raisin.
I would just like to let everyone know when you want to speak, you can grab a microphone, there's a switch, you can turn it on, and then everyone will be able to hear you better.
So yeah, we've got 2 floor microphones for everyone's awareness. If you generally through the business today, what we'll do is we'll ask people to assemble and speak. Is there any more comments on consideration of the additional delegates to be added before we move to a vote on that matter?
Hello. I think we should accept those, especially from Western Michigan, who were like denied the chance to come here. And from what I heard, they didn't even vote to even send anybody here. So I think it would be appropriate to accept them.
Okay, if there is no further discussion on that, we will move to a vote. I would propose that we have a standing vote. So we have 36 delegates, I believe you said.
That's right.
So 7/8 of that would
32.
be 32 required. So if you have more than 4 dissenters. So actually, I guess at first, could we have everyone who is in support of adding these 5 members to the delegation today, please stand in support. Oh yeah, I did not count us. So I believe we are surpassing 32. If I can have everyone in favor, please sit and ask all of them to please stand. Okay, I believe the motion passes with a greater than a 7/8 majority. So we will have additional 5 delegates. I believe that brings us
41.
41 in our delegation. Does that mean that everyone who is present is a delegate? Do we have anyone who is here who is not a delegate? Okay.
But this gentleman here, Mr. Tim Davis, joined the party, so.
Okay. So I believe that concludes our council report. Yes.
Sorry. Could we get the counts for 2/3 and majority?
22 would be a simple majority.
So 41 would be that a majority, do you say requires 22? 21, I think. 21 will meet a majority. 28 is 2/3.
36.
So, okay. So 21, 28, and 36 if we come up to any 7/8 motions. All right. I believe then that will conclude our credentials report for today. With that, we will move to our next item on the preliminary agenda, which is the approval of the agenda. So I apologize, this was assembled at the last minute somewhat. But hopefully everyone can see it on the screen. Dan, if you wouldn't mind to scroll up a little bit so we can catch the whole business agenda. All right. I think if you can, we don't need the second page part. So if everyone can see, I'll give a quick overview of the agenda. We have call to order, opening remarks, credential report, approval of agenda, adoption of convention rules. Then we will hear our motions that were petitioned for. We have 3 different items on the agenda. The item on the agenda proposed will be to consider a motion to appoint an investigatory committee to consider possible misconduct by Dave Canny, Greg Stemple, and Joe Brungart in the creation of a petition, which was ultimately submitted on January 3rd. That item will be done in executive session per the requirements of our governing documents. So for that portion of business, as a heads up, we'll have to ask the non-delegates in the room to step out of the room, maybe go downstairs for a few minutes while we conduct that business, at which point after that's done, we would welcome everyone back into the room, just a heads up. Next up will be the motion of no confidence in myself, Andrew Chatterton, as chair, and fill the vacancy if that is successful. So at that point, I will recuse myself from chairing business for the consideration of that motion. My plan is to hand the gavel to our secretary to lead that item of business. We will have a couple of guest speakers who will come in after that. As planned, we might shift that around as the morning continues on. It's planned for 30 minutes before we have our lunch. After that, we will have some lunch coming in. We have some pizza ordered. Unfortunately, with the circumstances of special conventions, it's going to be pretty low key. So we'll resume business after that, and we will complete the items from the last petition item of business today, which is for officer elections. And that includes electing for our vacancies in first and second vice chair and treasurer. And then we will break into district caucuses based on the congressional district to fill the 5 seats listed on the agenda. So that is our District 2, District 6, District 8, 13, and 14 representatives. Will be considered based on the pre-2020 district this term out in a few months. And after that, we will adjourn. That should be around 2, possibly a little earlier or later. So would anyone like to consider any?
Connor Nepomuceno, delegate from Oakland County. I will move to strike the vote of no confidence from the agenda.
I would, I don't want to violate my considerations as chair, but I would advocate for hearing out that item of business. Even though I'm not a fan of it passing, I think we should hear that business and go through it, but anyway, I'll let the body continue. So we have a motion proposed and seconded to strike the motion of no confidence from the agenda. Is there any further discussion of that matter?
Hi, Dave. I just think this was a petition submitted in accordance with our bylaws, and I think it would be more in order to hear it out fully and argue the actual case rather than trying to strike it at this time.
Is there anyone that would like to speak in favor following the statement against?
We've got other business to attend to.
Mr. Sepp.
Needs to be on the agenda today.
If we have any other in favor, Leah, do you want to speak opposed?
Leah Daly, Oakland County. I'd like to speak against the motion from Connor Nepomuceno. It's the whole reason we're here. There's money paid to be here. There's time spent to be here. Yeah, we can strike it off and just have a party, but there were people, I agree, there were people that made it, they aren't here. But maybe some are. And I think there's some valid consideration as to why parts of the body are so upset. We need a petition to get us all here, so I'd like to speak against striking it.
Mr. Tindall.
Morning. City Secretary, I too would like to speak against this motion. I want my victory.
Randy, you have some, to add?
Ryan Brennan, Wayne County Delegation. Also like to speak against the motion. While I believe that it's a petition brought towards the body in bad faith, I do definitely want to hear the argument against it today. Anyways, I would like to call the question.
Thank you very much. Is there any opposition to calling the question? So we'll now vote on the motion proposed to strike from the agenda the motion of no confidence. We'll do a voice vote for this to start. All those in favor of striking the motion from the agenda, please aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed of striking the item from the agenda, please say nay. Nay. I believe the nays have it. The motion fails. Are there any other proposals for consideration before we adopt the agenda today? All right, not hearing any further discussion, I will assume the motion to adopt the agenda for business today. All those in favor of adopting the agenda as presented on screen, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please say nay. Thank you very much. The ayes have it. So today's agenda is adopted as presented. Mr. Zamba, could you please pull up the proposed convention rules?
Can we enlarge that a little bit?
I'll also read through them as well.
Great, thanks.
Okay, so these rules are pretty standard consideration. They were heavily taken from past use from the party, so there should not be any surprises. Some very minor modifications, which I'll point out from our past standards. But Rule 1, the Credential Committee directly after opening of the first business meeting shall report the number of delegates registered as present with proper credentials, and will make a supplementary report at the beginning of each session that business continues. To facilitate identification in the Assembly Hall, delegates are required to wear the badge issued by Credentials Committee upon registration. Rule 3, all motions, resolutions, reports, and other materials for the permanent record or printed proceedings must be electronically submitted, printed, or handwritten, and immediately upon presentation be given to the recording secretary. Amendment I made from our past precedent has been that the recording secretary may waive this motion, may waive this requirement at their discretion. So if a motion is given by voice and the secretary has felt that they are able to properly capture that, they can waive the requirement for submission in writing. Rule 4, the success or failure of any motion will be based on the number of delegates present and voting on that question. Rule 5, no member may speak in debate more than once on the same question on the same day or for longer than 2 minutes without permission of the convention granted by a 2/3 vote without debate. Rule number 6, division of the House in exception to decision of the chair on any voice vote shall require 10 members to stand for such count to occur. Rule 7, the rules contained in the current edition of Robert's Rules of Order newly revised will govern the convention in all cases to which they are applicable unless such rule conflicts with the bylaws of the Libertarian Party of Michigan or these convention rules. Rule 8, the special convention will adjourn at 3 p.m. unless 2/3 of the membership chooses to extend or upon the conclusion of the notice business if it happens sooner. Rule number 9, the following rules apply to, to nomination of candidates for public office. We should amend that. The party officer shall be chosen by a majority vote of the delegates in attendance at the time of voting. If no candidate has a majority, the candidate with the least number of votes shall be stricken from the next vote until one candidate receives a majority. All votes for candidates for party office shall always include none of the above. Votes cast for none of the above in voting on party officers shall be considered valid. Should none of the above be selected for any party office, that position shall be declared vacant, and none of the losing candidates for that position may be selected to fill the vacancy for the term of office. Candidates for party office may self-nominate or be nominated by another. Each nominee for party office shall be allowed up to 5 minutes for nominating and seconding speeches. A nominating speech may also be given on behalf of none of the above. So I open the floor for any discussion of these rules, or if anyone has any proposals or amendments to change those before we adopt them for today. Does anyone like to discuss or propose an amendment to those rules of business for today?
I move to amend Rule 9 to say party office instead of public office.
Thank you very much. Do you have a second?
Second.
What's that? Oh, yes. As a rule, when speaking to the floor, please announce your name and your affiliate. So Mr. David Ford from Southwest just spoke. I ask everyone else going forward to please announce your name and affiliate when you speak. So we have a proposal, I believe I heard a second, to amend Rule 9 to state for nomination for party office. All right, is there any opposition to that motion to correct the typo in the agenda? Or I'm sorry, in the rules. Hearing no objection, that amendment is adopted. That was what we were discussing. Change it to candidates for party office for Rule 9. Was there something else? There. Okay. Is there any further discussion for today's rules of business? All right, hearing none, do we have any opposition to appoint an investigatory committee to consider possible misconduct by Dade County Brooks in the creation of the petition, which was ultimately submitted on January 3rd? So our rules require that this item of business be done in executive session. So this time I would ask any members who are present who are not delegates, if you would mind to either step outside